یه انیمیشن چرت و پرت دیگه.
Hi guys, I'm Mindy, 31 years old from America.
سلام مندی، 31 ساله از آمریکا. به عنوان یه زن 31 ساله موهای پریشونی داره نه؟ ولی گوشوارش قشنگه.
Today I will tell you my lesbian love story, hoping to inspire those out there who are in the same situation but lack faith in love. I realized that I
از همون اول معلوم بود با اون موهای پریشونی که داشت، زن گنده با 31 سال سن معلوم بود مورد ریزی وجود داره.
only had feelings for people of the same sex quite early in my life. And I never felt guilty about it. I was sent by my parents to a Catholic school near my home.
این قسمت خیلی جالب بود.
I was sent by my parents to
پدر مادرش مثل تیکه سنگ انداختنش مدرسه کاتولیک. بچه همینه دیگه، بچه جفتک میندازه تا آخر سر واسه من موردار عذاب در میاد.
a Catholic school near my home. And that's where I met Lucy. We have a lot in common.
یه کلی با هم دیگه مشترکات داشتیم ولی زمین تا آسمون با هم دیگه فرق میکنن. این دختر موهاش بلوند، اون بلوند نیست اصلا. بعد این لباس کلاسیک و رسمی پوشیده، اون یکی اصلا چی میگن استایل متاله چیه با این گوشواره جیسس کرایستش. زمین تا آسمون با هم دیگه فرق میکنن ولی چشماشون قشنگه، برداراشون همه دارن.
And we talked non-stop right from the first meeting. We both thought we were just super close friends and nothing more than that. Lucy and I did almost everything together.
چقدر دوستای خوبی هستن. حیف که با هم دیگه، وگرنه خیلی با هم دیگه میومدیم، دوستای خوب میشدیم.
We sat next to each other in the classroom, ate lunch together,
مدرسه کاتولیکا کلاس چی برگزار میکردن؟ روش حل گرفتن آب مقدس.
and waited for each other's parents to pick up at the school gate. For me, Lucy is the person who understood me the best.
یه تینیجر بود، سنش کمتر بوده، موهات چونه شده بود، بعد بلوندم بود. الان 31 سالت شده موهات پریشونه، نمیدونم تو هوا افشونه پریشونه.
Hence I felt the most comfortable being with. My plans, no matter what they are, always contain Lucy and vice
خب هر برنامه‌ای هم می‌ریختیم با هم دیگه می‌ریختیم جلبکا. اوکی.
versa. It was hard for both of us to imagine a life that lacks the other half as adults. But neither Lucy nor I knew what to call that sentimentality.
چشماشون چرا هر لحظه قشنگتر میشه؟
Sometimes we just said, "Oh hey, if only you were a guy, you would be the perfect boyfriend." But for 3 years as friends in our Catholic school,
شما ازبکو با این قیافتون، با این سایزتون دوست پسر نداشتین؟ بعد هم به همدیگه چسبیده بودین؟ امکان نداره. 100% این داستان دروغه. 100% این داستان دروغه. تجربه شخصی میگم.
we were so shy to say the 3 words, "I love you." To outsiders, that statement might only show the affection between 2 close friends, but to
اون لحظه سمی بود.
us, it made our cheeks flush and our heart beat faster. But sad things happened when we were 18 years old. That afternoon, my parents came to pick me up early for my grandfather's birthday, so I couldn't wait with Lucy until her parents came to pick her up. Little did I know that it was the last time I saw my dear friend smile. Just a few minutes after my parents drove away.
بازم چهره آدم بدا رو واسه حفظ آبروشون این انیمیشن شطرنجی کرده که نشون نده.
A group of male thugs near our school walked past. Seeing Lucy standing alone, they came closer to tease her.
اوه پشمام، این یکی دختره که بلونده لوسیه، خودش اون چیزه است، خودش اون مومشکیه بود که با ماشین بردنش پدر مادرش. پشمام، از اول داستان تا حالا تازه فهمیدم کی به کیه. عذرخواهی میکنم بچه، عذرخواهی میکنم، تازه فهمیدم. آی کیوم چیزه منفی 2.
According to witnesses, they pulled Lucy's braids, called her names, and in the end, when Lucy didn't react as they intended, they snatched her bag and ran across the street.
همین اومدن سنجاق سرشو برداشتن، اسمشو صدا زدن، کیفشو برداشتن رفتن.
Lucy panicked and immediately chased after them, but the poor girl did not
بابا حالا توی کیفت چی داری؟ ول کن بابا.
notice a car coming at quite a fast speed, so she was hit
نه.
directly. My
وای.
little Lucy died at the hospital with a serious brain injury, and I didn't get the news until midnight that night, when Lucy had drawn her last breath. For a year since that fateful day, I was no longer myself.
اون پیشی روی پیرهنش چی میگه؟ یه پیشی روی پیرهنشه، یه دونه اسکلت چیه اون روی کفششه.
I'm a cheerful girl. I gradually
نه این بزرگ شد یه ذره آدم شد بچه، نه بزرگتر شد با اینکه موهاش هنوز پریشونه تو هوا افشونه ولی یه ذره آدم‌تره.
became taciturn and quieter. I passed college and
هیچ وقت این زن زندگی نمیشه، هیچ وقت.
moved to a city away from home to avoid people, and especially to run away from memories that Lucy and I had had in the small town where we grew up from. One night, while I was sagging in my cramped room, I unconsciously flipped through the plenty of fish profiles for anyone who could help me forget the emptiness I felt in my heart. It had been a difficult year for me, with bad
سرش داره بارون میاد.
first year academic results
حتما به خاطر همین سال بری داشته، نه؟ چون رو سرش بارون میباریده.
and an extremely volatile mentality. The loss of the girlfriend I loved most took away the person everyone knew about me. At that moment of indeterminate search, a new message was sent to my account.
گوشیش قلب گاز زده یا سیب گاز زده؟ بیشتر شبیه قلبه. What the fuck?
You're so beautiful. Simply put, those 3 short words were sent from a mysterious beauty with lilac hair and lots of earrings. Oh, those eyes, that
این دختر چرا فقط به دختر دیگه چش داره؟
smile. How could they look so much like Lucy? I had been staring at that picture for longer than I should while figuring out how to reply to such a general message. Resisting the urge to reply immediately, I clicked through to read her entire profile. Her name is Niaz, the same age as me, and that's all. That's really strange, I thought.
این رابطه‌های مجازی هیچ وقت به جایی نمیرسه. این پیام‌های مجازی، این مسخره بازی‌ها، این جنگولک بازی‌ها هیچ وقت به جایی نمیرسه. حتما کلید اسراری پشت این پیام‌ها نهفته است. حتما.
But after reading Niaz's description of self in the dating app, I realized with surprise that we were almost identical. I cannot remember exactly what I answered, but it was successful. We connected and talked through that night. I have made no mention of Lucy and the terrifying resemblance
این شخصیت هم فعلا چهرهش گنگه، نمیشناسیمش.
of Niaz and Lucy. Perhaps because I have yet to believe in this Lord's arrangement.
میگه این خواست خدا بوده، ولی حالا توی زیرنویس حسبن زد نمیدونم ترتیب ارباب و یه سری چرت و پرتا، ولی
For the first time in such a long time, I was really excited to
چیکار داری میکنی زن گنده؟ 31 سالته، آدم باش.
talk to another person. She's funny, pretty, and seemed to be very considerate of me too.
این کلا اصلا با پسر جماعت چیز نداری، نه؟ اصلا کلا پسرا رو انم حساب نمیکنه.
The conversation was so natural that I didn't even consider asking where she came from. I can't believe you live that far, Niaz texted me. Wait, what? What does she mean?
خب به علت دوری جغرافیایی از همدیگه اینا به همدیگه نرسیدن.
I thought. This application usually only connects users in the same locality, right? What do you mean? Where are you from? I texted back and told myself
بعد ببینیم مثلا دختر ایرانی بوده.
she definitely couldn't be that far. But no. It turned out that Niaz lived on the opposite side of the country. But I was just happy. I thought that such a distance was okay.
اینقدر اسکلی الان از اون سر کشور پا میشی میری اون طرف به خاطر اون دختره، نه؟
My real goal, shamefully, is just to grab any chance to see Lucy again. Just a figure similar to her would be more than enough.
اینا رو مثل فتوشاپ رو هم دیگه بلند زد و اوکی.
After that, we talked almost every day. We texted long messages about everything from work
اینا با این قیافشون چجوری دوست پسر ندارن؟ چجوری پسرا گذاشتن که اینا سینگل بمونن؟ این امکان نداره داداش.
to home and life in general. We both tried to avoid the topic of meeting up because we didn't want any pressure. But we both felt that the other
چجوری تو 6 سالته من متوجه نمیشم.
person was also extremely excited to meet them. It had been about 4 or 5 weeks since we first started talking when one day Niaz announced that she was flying to Los Angeles to meet her relatives. She would be there for about 3 weeks and asked if I wanted to drive there to see her.
100% مثل سگ میاد تو رو ببینه.
I didn't have too much money in savings, so I couldn't afford to buy a plane ticket.
چقدر بدبخت بودی. با 31 سال سن پول یه دونه بلیط هواپیما نداری، بعد واسه خودت ریل میزنی اونم با دختر. من دیگه حرفی ندارم. این همون کلید اسراری است که میگفتم بهتون.
It takes many hours to drive from my place to Los Angeles. My biggest worry was, what if Niaz didn't look like what I had imagined her in the app? What if she's not the Lucy in my mind? However, I did not hesitate to say yes. Either way, I had to know if the
گفتم مثل سگ میره. من خدای پیشبینی‌های نامنظم.
feelings I had were real. or I was still just in love with a ghost that only existed in my imagination. And it all happened like that. The fate that brought us together coincided with Valentine's
آره روزها مثل ثانیه ها میگذشت.
Day, February 14th.
روز ولنتاین هم با هم دیگه قرار گذاشتن. او مای گاد چه رمانتیک.
With so many questions and uncertainties, I just knew that there was
بعد مثلا ولنتاین اینا واسه هم دیگه چی میگیرن لذا
one thing I knew for sure. That was, I couldn't wait to meet the mysterious girl with lilac hair and piercings. I got in the car and started my journey to Los Angeles. Travel
عجب ماشین خفنی.
times were so much longer than I expected due to severe traffic congestion. Oh, how impatient I was. I reviewed my decision hundreds of times in the car. Finally, I arrived.
لس آنجلس LA.
Nias came to the door to welcome me. God,
او خونه دختره است. اوکی.
she looked even more like Lucy than
بابا لوسی رو فراموش کن. دختر رو میخوای دیگه حالا به خاطر خودش بخوای. ناراحت میشه.
on the dating app. There was an awkward moment between the two of us before I followed her inside, feeling confused and claustrophobic after all day in the car. But I'd arrived, and I had to be responsible for my
کاش ما تو حداقل شونه میکردیم خواستی بریم مهمونی.
decision. I stayed in Los Angeles all weekend, and the mysterious girl with lilac hair and piercings was the coolest person I ever met.
دختره به این تر و تمیزی بهت نگفت ما تو چلو شونه نمی‌کنیم؟ جدی میگم همه دوست دخترایی هم که پیدا میکنه خیلی از خودش مرتب‌ترن.
We hardly slept all weekend. We drank, listened to music, and talked about anything and everything.
کل هفته رو لواط کردن.
When I decided to tell Nias about Lucy and confess my decision when I went to see her, I cried. It was one of the few times I truly cried since Lucy died. Nias didn't judge, just quietly hugged me in her arms and said that she valued me and my feelings.
Oh.
My heart was more broken than I imagined when I left the apartment we shared that weekend. I sprayed my perfume on Nias' shirt, hoping she will remember me a little longer.
یعنی چی عطرم رو روی لباس دختره پاچوندم؟ لباسش لک میفته.
Getting back to where we were, we talked on the phone for hours a day. People say that lesbians tend to move fast in relationships, and maybe that's true. But for us, we know what we have is serious. Just like that, we were apart for 6 months in a row and met at a destination for 1 to 2 weeks when we could be off work and school.
چی شد آمریکای جنوبی رفتن؟
We explored the world and cherished every moment together.
We explored the world. تو دنیا رو ما با هم دیگه دنیا رو گشتیم. تو پول یه دونه بلیط هواپیما نداری ازگل. We explored the world با هم دیگه چجوری دنیا رو گشتین؟ با کدوم پول؟ این دو نفر که با هم دیگه لزن. کی کار میکنه که خونه داری میکنه؟ این سوالاتی هست که باید پاسخ داده بشه.
Together more than other lovers, and it has been going on for 12 years. Nias proposed to me on a bright starry night in Paris
یعنی چی از من خواستگاری کرد؟
during our European tour a few years ago. Of course I agreed. The moment I said yes, the person I vowed to share my whole life with was Nias, not Lucy. But I still think that
جدی اینجور ازدواجا رسمیه مگه؟ من نمیدونستم. هیچ مراسم رسمی واسه این داستان واسه اینجور رابطه ها هست؟ همه دروغه.
dear girl of mine to this day for everything. And that's our freaking cute lesbian love story. I know that every lesbian love story is beautiful, but ours is my favorite. Hope you guys enjoy the story and can find the motivation from it to believe in love more every day.
اوه پشت این داستان کلید اسرار نبود، به خوبی و خوشی تموم شد. What the fuck؟
No matter who you're in love with.
کلید اسرار پشت این داستان نبود. شت. ولی چجوری اون تیکه ها سینگل موندن من متوجه نمیشم. بچه‌ها مرسی که ویدیو رو تماشا کردید. اگه از اینجور ویدیو دوست دارید حتما کانال رو سابسکرایب کنید. عشقید.